What's the youngest patient that you've operated on?
The youngest patient I've done vaginoplasty on is age 16.
Do you worry that minors just don't understand enough about themselves? They're not neurologically developed enough yet to make permanent life-altering decisions?
Absolutely not.
So being a woman is what's in your brain and what's in your heart, girl. You know what I mean? And your spirit. And your mother spirit. Honestly, this ugly ass Karen looking.
All right, guys. So as you can see there, that is a preview clip from the new documentary by the Daily Wire, What is a Woman, starring Matt Walsh, that they are savagely dropping on the first day of Pride Month, right? Again, Matt Walsh is one of these people that I highly respect. Even though I don't agree with everything he says, I respect him because the guy truly is a savage. He does not hold back when it comes to his opinions, and he tells it like it is. Again, something that I highly respect, okay? And again, like a savage, they're dropping this What is a Woman documentary on the first day of Pride Month. I think it's gonna premiere tonight. And to be quite honest with you guys, even though I don't work for the Daily Wire, and I am much happier working for myself, much rather work for myself. If I wasn't working for myself, I would love to work for the Daily Wire. So I have no problems shamelessly plugging this documentary because, quite honestly, I'm excited about it. Okay, I hope that this documentary gives us some insight in regards to how people answer this question around the world, which that kind of seems like what the documentary is about. Okay, so I want to talk about another preview clip that Matt Walsh dropped that I found to be absolutely savage. Is one scene where he's just talking to an African tribe and asking them what is a woman, and I found this to be hilarious. But before I get in that, I just want to let you guys know, if you like my channel and you want to support my channel, you can do so using the links in the description below. You support the Patreon, you support the PayPal, you support the merch. There are multiple ways to support the channel if you would like to do so. So without further ado, let's play this clip from Matt Walsh's documentary, What is a Woman, in which he is talking to an African tribe about this question. Take a look.
What if a man decides that his gender identity is woman?
A woman has its own duty, and a man has its own duty, and a lady cannot do the duty of a man, and a man cannot do a duty of a woman.
Can a man become a woman?
No.
No?
No.
What about a transgender?
Okay.
Transgender?
No.
No?
It look like if you want to become a lady but you're a man, you have something wrong in your mind. Something wrong in your family, something wrong in you.
What about if someone was non-binary?
Come again?
Non-binary? Do you know, like someone is
you're not a woman, you're not a man.
yeah, someone is neither. There's something else. Is that?
He's saying we have never seen things like those. For a man, he has a penis. For a woman, he has a vagina. So we know this is a lady, this is a man.
What if it's a woman with a penis?
Both.
Is that? People are laughing. Is that a dumb question?
Yeah, so that video is absolutely hilarious to me for various reasons, right? But one of the reasons is because I'm pretty sure in Africa and most of the world, and I hope that the documentary shows this, the concept of gender fluidity is probably strictly a Western concept for the most part, okay? For the most part. I'm not saying that's all the way true, but I'm just saying you probably be hard-pressed to find some of these tribes and some of these people in places like Africa that go along with our gender nonsense here in the Western world, okay? And again, I hope that the film shows that. But again, the most hilarious part is when Matt Walsh asked him, what is non-binary? What about non-binary? And this dude's like, what? What are you talking about? Right? They're laughing. They're laughing at it. Again, which I find to be hilarious. Again, it just goes to show you that, even though there are some people on this planet that, are still living in a more traditional world, maybe Western society in regards to some things, right? We've definitely have been progressive, but maybe we progress too much, right? On certain issues, especially social issues. Again, I hope the documentary shows that, and I believe that is the point that it will probably drive home, that this progressivism in our society is actually progressed us into a world of lunacy, okay? And just remember, if you criticize these African tribesmen for their opinions on gender, then you are racist and culturally insensitive. And you also in support of European colonialism, right? Just remember that. So that being said, before this documentary can even come out tonight, Matt Walsh has already triggered the LGBTQ community, okay? As this person named Jesse Earl, aka Jesse Gender, I'm assuming that this person is a transgender woman or whatever, tweeted this in response to this upcoming documentary. They say, Matt Walsh's upcoming vile hate piece against trans people will be used to incite hate and violence against trans people. Walsh is a bigot and will have blood on his hands. Okay, so they're already saying that this documentary is going to basically result in violence against trans people, which is just absolutely not true. Absolutely not true. Again, it's the same argument they use for Dave Chappelle, for Ricky Gervais. Anytime they want to cancel any type of legitimate criticism, they don't want to hear it. They say, oh, it's violence, right? It's violence against us. And Matt Walsh responded by saying, if by, quote, hate and violence you mean extremely fair and basic questions, then yes, my film will incite a lot of that, God willing. And then Jesse Earl responds, conservatives just want simple answers to make the world seem less scary to them. Sorry, the world is complex, strange, and a weird place. It can be anxiety-inducing, but we can also take delight in the wonderful differences and surprises it has to offer. I mean, that is the point of the documentary, right? To ask the world, what is a woman, right? What did they define as a woman, okay? I think that is what he's actually trying to do, right? He's trying to find out what the world thinks of this question. Because apparently in the Western world, right, the United States in particular, this question is almost impossible to answer. And according to the left, you only can answer it if you are a biologist, right? That's why nobody on the left seems to be able to answer the question. So he's just asking what the world thinks. Jesse Earl goes on to say, anyways, I'm going to step off Twitter for a bit for my mental health because transphobe Matt Walsh shared a tweet of mine, which of course has sent harassment my way. I'll be back soon enough, but take care, beautiful people. Remember that kindness in community wins all. In which Matt Walsh responds, transphobe, question mark, I'm literally a best-selling LGBTQ children's author. Hey, I don't see any lies there in that response. But essentially what this person here, again, is playing a victim card instead of actually answering the question of what is a woman. In fact, they actually punt on this question and defer to a video that has already been made in response to Matt Walsh's upcoming documentary. As this person says, want a good faith answer to a bad faith question, literally stoked to target harassment against trans people to fuel the embers of your endlessly pointless culture war, riling anger and bigotry in the grasp for relevance. Here you go. So let's actually take a preview at the transgender response to the question of what is a woman. Take a look.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition? No,
Yeah.
I can't.
What are women? You've probably seen this asked a lot lately. The deceptively simple phrase has triggered a cultural maelstrom that's swallowed entire countries by now. It seems like the people asking the question the most are, ironically, the ones who don't think it's up for debate.
How would you guys define a woman?
Actually tell me what a woman is.
You think that there are genetic or biological characteristics that define a woman?
A woman is a human being with 2 X chromosomes. Ask any geneticist.
Radical trans theory is effectively erasing the concept of womanhood.
And you know our culture is broken when saying who's a woman can't be spoken.
And it feels like defining woman should be a pretty trivial task. We're all familiar with women. We all associate certain things with being a woman. Roughly half of us are women and presumably call ourselves that for some good reason. But somehow, those of us who think a lot about gender tend to have the murkiest definitions. Progressives will often answer this question by saying, a woman is someone who identifies as a woman, basically sidestepping the issue at hand. This is the most tolerant approach because it lets people decide for themselves whether they're women, and I appreciate that. But the phrase is also a really easy target. You can't define woman has joined the pantheon of conservative owns alongside triggered and it's ma'am. And I understand why. This definition of woman is circular and unhelpful. It does nothing to resolve the actual question people have, which is, what makes someone a woman? Why do trans women call themselves that, and why should I agree with them? I've said before that the online left puts too much stock in identities and labels, so as you can imagine, this very abstract, nebulous definition doesn't really satisfy me. But in my research for this video, reading dozens of different definitions, I found that actually none of them have. That every straightforward definition of woman has failed in some way. This question is far deeper, far more fraught than it first appears. I know the shadow of Marsha Blackburn, Tucker Carlson, and the entire United Kingdom will loom large over this video. The anti-trans movement is eager to find quotable figures they can prop up as everything that's wrong with society these days. And I realize that by making this video, I've made myself a likely target of that. But I'm here to dig deeper, not implicate myself in a culture war. If you think the matter is settled and only came here to hate watch, you're wasting your time. Go call your mom. Go outside. I don't know, touch grass. So what are women, actually? What makes someone a woman? I hope what I'm about to say isn't unsatisfying, but you've sat here listening to me for a solid half hour, so I think I owe you my honest opinion. No one can tell you what a woman is. In fact, it's barely a useful line of inquiry. The issue has been foregrounded for one reason: to control women, to limit how we view ourselves, what we can do, and who we can be. The defined woman crowd, they don't wish you well, even if you do fit their definition. Where we go from here, I'm not too sure. It's up to each of us to decide whether we can salvage any scraps of true, untainted gender from this sexist colonial wreckage. Maybe one day we'll decide once and for all what exactly unites us. Maybe womanhood will be about a connection to something deep and primal. Maybe we'll find purpose in picking mushrooms off tree trunks in the climate wasteland. Maybe the fuckers will win and women will be reduced to breeding stock. But probably none of these things will happen. Probably we'll keep disagreeing on this until the end of time. I think that's for the best. Having looked at this from all sides, I don't feel good about taking any hardline position. I don't want to tell women who they are or why. That feels kind of violent to me, and I don't think there's a way to go about it correctly. The whole exercise leaves a bad taste in my mouth. So I think I'm just gonna walk away. Maybe call my mom, go for a walk, touch grass, you know? I might spend some time reflecting on what connects me to the women in my life.
So yeah, basically the transgender response, the complex response, right? Outside of, well, you know, a woman is people who say in their imagination that they're a woman. Basically is, well, we really don't know, right? I can't define what a woman is. And if you do try to define it, you're a bigot, right? You are a sexist bigot that is pro-European colonialism, right? That is basically the gist of that 45-minute video that person made, basically responding to the question of what is woman, right? We really don't know, right? That's basically what this person is saying. Okay, so with that being said, the woke leftists are already triggered by this documentary, and I can't wait till it comes out so they can get even more triggered. But what I do hope, again, is that it does demonstrate that as a society, particularly Western society, we may have progressed too much when it comes to certain social issues, to the point where, again, we become a society of lunacy in some aspects. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.